Mother!
Feet are fun. Feet are neat. Fancy feet just can't be beat. Feet are sexy. Feet are fine. Having feet is just divine. The game may be afoot, but feet are not a game. You can put your best foot forward, but no 2 feet are quite the same. Feet are dandy. Feet are grand. Feet are handy, so let's give them a hand. Here's 17 things you can do with a foot. Number 17. Use it in a fight.
Kicking an opponent in combat predates recorded history, but the use of high kicks targeted at the head and torso originated in Asian martial arts. One of the strongest kicks ever recorded was made by UFC champion Mauricio Shogun Rua, who was able to deliver a devastating 2,749 pounds of force in the ESPN Sports Science Lab. This strength of Rua's kick is close to the impact of the most powerful kick in the animal kingdom, the zebra. A typical zebra can deliver over 3,000 pounds of force with its rear hooves.
I used to have a bully who kept kicking my feet. He was definitely my arch enemy. Number 16. Let it slam into your crotch.
The world record for taking a kick to the crotch is held by a man named Roy Kirby. In 2016, Kirby willingly allowed a MMA fighter to kick him as hard as he could right in the groin, receiving a massive 1,100 pounds of force to his balls.
Oh, right now, mommy, daddy button.
Despite not wearing a cup and having no protection, Kirby barely reacted to a powerful crotch kick that would have left anyone else writhing on the floor.
Hadouken!
How had Kirby toughened his pelvis and testicles to such an extreme degree? With years of training that included taking thousands of practice kicks to the crotch.
This man is the definition of testicular fortitude. Number 15. Kick a football better.
Okay, that is the last time you were gonna pull that crap.
The ability to kick a football accurately can earn you millions of dollars. The highest paid kicker in the NFL is Justin Tucker of the Baltimore Ravens.
You guys smell it? It smells like Up Dog.
What's up, dog?
Nothing much, man. So with you.
He gets paid around $6 million a season, which comes to about $86,000 per kick. In the early days of American football, place kickers approached the ball straight on and connected with the toes. Nowadays, the ball is kicked with the instep, which is both more powerful and more accurate. The instep kicking style was introduced in the 1960s by Hungarian-born player Pete Gogolak. Gogolak was such a good kicker that in 1965, he sparked a huge bidding war between the AFL and the NFL, which was a prime factor for the two football leagues merging together 1 year later.
Sounds like this Gogolak guy was really putting his best foot forward.
Number 14. Kick a football barefoot.
Ooh, I'm a football player.
During the 1980s, several major NFL players started kicking barefoot. They claimed they could control their kicks better without a shoe in the way, and were also able to get a lower angle on the ball.
I couldn't kick with a shoe on with near the distance or near the accuracy, and that's the only reason I did it.
The trend was kicked off by Eagles player Tony Franklin, who scored the NFL's first shoeless field goal in 1979. Barefoot kicking got a toehold in the NFL, but it only lasted a decade. The league's last barefoot field goal was kicked on New Year's Eve 1990 by Rams player Mike Lansford.
These guys kick so much better barefoot that it knocked their socks off. But the NFL makes too much money off shoe sponsorships to ever be the Naked Foot League. They're real cash shoe nuts.
Number 13. Walk heel toe.
Heel toe, heel toe, heel toe.
The way humans walk with a bipedal heel-toe stride is unique to our species. The long, flat human foot actually makes the effective length of our stride longer. The way we land on the heel and push off from the toes means the true pivot point for the leg is a few inches below the ground. Early hominids appear to have had even longer feet than modern humans, which probably allowed them to walk faster than we can. However, their long feet would have made it harder for them to run effectively. The high torque when pushing off from the toes while running on such long feet would have been difficult to manage. Researchers believe that as the ability to run became more important than walking speed, human evolution led to the modern foot size.
I used to walk toe to heel, but now I stand corrected. Number 12. Measure distance.
Humans have measured things with their feet since long before recorded history. But America is the only developed nation which still uses the foot as a standard measure of length.
Fuck the metric system.
However, most people aren't aware that the USA officially uses two kinds of feet with slightly different lengths.
Why?
In 1959, the U.S. signed international treaties which defined 1 foot as being exactly 0.3048 meters. This was about 0.0002% shorter than the previous definition. This incredibly small difference can still add up to a problem for long-range measurements, such as surveying. Since decades of surveying data had already been done with the original foot size, American scientists decided to keep both. The longer one is now referred to as the surveying foot.
Wrong foot. Mother.
Measuring distances that precisely requires very fancy footwork. Number 11. Find it on the beach.
21 severed feet have washed up on beaches around Vancouver, Canada since 2007. At first, locals thought there was a serial killer with a foot fetish, but almost all the feet have been identified as drowning victims, accidents, or likely suicides. The reason that feet are the only body part to wash up from a drowned corpse is because the shoe protects them from being eaten by fish. Plus, modern sneakers have air pockets which increase buoyancy. Vancouver seems to really love their severed feet. They even have a plaza commemorating where a severed foot was found back in 1887. It's called Leg and Boot Square.
This entry gives new meaning to the song Footloose. Number 10. Get a terrible infection.
Mossy foot disease causes feet to swell and the skin to become very bumpy and rough. This disease affects up to 5% of people in regions with red volcanic soil and where going barefoot is common. Silicates can penetrate the skin, causing some people to develop an intense inflammatory reaction. In some cases, the afflicted one is seen as cursed and shunned from society.
I am outcast already. I can't go there. Here, friends and neighbors won't talk with me.
The Mossy Foot Project is a group of doctors operating in Ethiopia who treat over 100 patients a day. Simple treatments such as antifungal creams, bandaging, and proper moisturizing can have dramatic benefits.
Lord bless these doctors. This is truly one hell of a pedicure.
If you're enjoying the video, make sure you like and subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Number 9. Light it on fire.
A hot foot is a prank where the victim's foot is set on fire without them knowing. This is often done by using gum to sneakily stick a lit cigarette or pack of matches to the victim's shoe. For some reason, this prank is especially popular among professional baseball players. During the 1970s, Major League All-Star pitcher Bert Blyleven was known as the Frying Dutchman due to his love of setting his teammates' shoes on fire. This prank isn't as popular as it used to be, but once in a while you can still spot a baseball player giggling at an oblivious teammate who's wondering why he's suddenly smelling smoke.
I guess this could be good for a nervous player who gets cold feet before batting. but it still seems like a toe-curling experience.
Number 8. Cram it into a small shoe.
Studies have found that almost 90% of American women wear shoes that are too tight.
Are you sure you're a 5? I'm not a liar.
Even though ill-fitting shoes can cause pain, corns, and even foot deformities. Some women have actually had toes surgically removed just so they can wear smaller shoes. This idea even shows up in fairy tales. Early versions of Cinderella have one evil stepsister cutting off her toes to make the glass slipper fit, while the other sister cuts off a piece of her heel. Both times, the prince is tricked and only catches on when he notices the trail of blood left by the stepsisters when they walk.
I've heard of toe jam, but this is bloody ridiculous. Number 7. Remove it to run faster.
I just felt like running.
South African Oscar Pistorius had both feet amputated as a baby due to a birth defect. Despite this, Pistorius became a Paralympic sprinting champion. He ran on high-tech carbon fiber blades known as the FlexFoot Cheetah. They use elastic compression to bend and spring back with every stride. After winning 3 gold medals at the Paralympics, Pistorius wanted to compete in the regular Olympics too. Some people believed that his springy artificial limbs would give Pistorius an unfair advantage. But the Olympic Committee eventually gave permission, and in 2012, Pistorius became the first double-leg amputee to compete in the Summer Games. Sadly, Pistorius murdered his girlfriend in 2013 and is currently serving a lengthy prison sentence.
Whew, I did not see that coming.
Using bouncy blades for speed gives new meaning to the term springtime. Number 6. Torture it.
Eddie, please!
Throughout history, torturers have focused on the foot as a place to inflict pain. One common form of foot torture involves a device called the boot. Made of wood or metal, this device would be placed around the foot, then tightened with wedges to crush the foot. Another method was to use a boot-shaped rawhide that was cinched tightly over the foot and lower leg. The material was then slowly heated, causing it to shrink and contract, slowly squeezing and mangling the victim's feet.
The hideousness of that foot will haunt my dreams forever.
This must be why they say the agony of defeat. Number 5. Pull a worm out of it.
There are many parasites which infect people through bare feet, but only the guinea worm uses your foot as an exit. The worm gets into your body through unclean drinking water, where it can grow to be 30 inches long. Eventually, it will chew a small hole in your foot and stick out its tail to release larvae. This is your only chance to get rid of the parasite. You have to grip its tail end and carefully wrap it around a small rod. Now you must slowly coil the worm out without breaking it, an extremely painful process which can take several days. Some researchers believe that the rod of Asclepius, an ancient symbol of medicine, originated from this deworming treatment.
Instead of getting its foot in your door, this awful worm's getting its door in your foot. Number 4. Have it washed by the Pope.
You know, I'm kind of tired. I could use a foot massage myself.
Catholic popes have been ritually washing the feet of prisoners, refugees, and poor people for about 1,000 years. The ritual is performed on Maundy Thursday, which is the day before Good Friday. For several centuries, most of Europe's royalty also washed the feet of some poor subjects on the same day. When Pope Francis was washing the feet of prisoners in 2013, he included some Muslims and women in the ceremony. No pope had done this before, and it was extremely controversial among some traditionalists. They only wanted the Pope to wash the feet of prisoners who were also Catholic and male.
I like feet. I do not know why.
Who knew the Pope had so much healing power?
Number 3. Leave a mark that lasts millions of years.
The oldest known markings left by human beings are footprints dating back around 6 million years. 50 footprints found on the Greek island of Crete are believed by some researchers to be the first signs of early humans. A paleontologist noticed the tracks in sediment deposits while he was vacationing on the island back in 2002. The tracks are in stone formed from sediment dating back to the Miocene epoch, a time when the Mediterranean Sea was dried out. Some scientists disagree and believe the marks were made by an ancient ape species or possibly aren't even footprints at all.
It was aliens.
Aside from these, the oldest accepted human tracks are in Tanzania, dated to about 3.5 million years ago.
They could make a great movie about this with such extreme foot age. Number 2. Take a sacred step on a mountaintop.
Go, Slinky, go!
At the top of Sri Prata Mountain in Sri Lanka is an ancient footprint marking in the stone. This footprint is considered sacred by several religions. To Buddhists, it is the footprint of Buddha. To Hindus, it is the footprint of Shiva. To Muslims, it is the footprint of Adam. To Christians, it is the footprint of St. Thomas. Thousands of pilgrims make the difficult hike to the mountaintop every year to pray at the sacred footprint. The footprint is 5 feet long and 2 feet wide, meaning whoever left it must have been giant-sized.
I've heard of a big Buddha belly, but a big Buddha footprint? All I can say is, bless my soul. And the number 1 thing you can do with a foot is serve it to your friends for dinner.
It's like someone's just dropped a fucking foot on my plate.
In 2016, a man got into a motorcycle accident and had to have his foot amputated. Following the philosophy of waste not, want not, the man convinced the hospital to let him keep his severed limb, claiming he needed to be buried whole for religious reasons. He then invited his friends to come over and enjoy the unique experience of eating human flesh in an ethical way. The man sautéed a section of his foot muscle with onions, peppers, and lime juice, then served it up on tortillas. His conclusion: I taste like buffalo, but chewier.
Now that's what I'd call putting your foot in your mouth.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to get all our exciting lists of interesting things you can do with other things.
Good.